Hello, hope you are doing good. So in this video I want to talk about intent, like what an intent is and how you can use it in your activity. So the basic idea behind intents is that your app can have multiple activities. Just like we created the main activity, similarly you can create other activities, and each activity is doing some task basically. Now, at times, an activity might need to call another activity. Okay, so to do that, an intent is used. So, let me show you how this works. So, currently, we have this main activity, okay, and we have this click me method, which is called when you click on the button. So, what I want is I want to create a new activity and I want to call that activity in this method. So how will we do that? First of all, let's create a new activity. Okay, which is pretty straightforward. You go to new and you create a blank activity, and let's call that a message activity. Okay, so we want to display some message on that activity. Now if you see, it gives you the option if you want to make it as a launcher activity, if you want to use a fragment. So we don't need those options as of now. We'll just click on finish. Okay, and the studio will generate the new activity for us, and it'll ask us if we want to store the version in Git repository. So we say okay. Now we have the other activity also. So it has a corresponding layout file. So let's add a simple um, text view. So we'll say wrap. I think by now you might be a little familiar with what I'm doing here. I'll say message activity. Okay, that's it. Now let's call this message activity from our main activity. So what we can do is we create an intent. Okay, intent, simple new intent, and you just specify this, which is your current class, and the message activity. Okay, so this is how you declare an intent. The first parameter is the current activity, second parameter is the activity you want to call, and then you just say start activity. Okay, you just say start activity and you pass the intent. Okay, and this should basically start the second activity. So let's see this in action. So I have the emulator up and running. So what I'll do is I'll again run this app. So our assumption is that on click of this button, the second activity should display a message activity. Okay, so okay, it's up and running. Let me click on this and I do this and nothing happens. Oh, something happens. And what happens is it it drives me back to the same app. Okay, so looks like the intent which we defined, the message activity class which we gave, is probably not working. So we'll have to check what's going on. Okay, so we have the message activity on create is getting called. Okay, and one quick check will be for us to see. Now let me change it to the Android view. So I'm kind of debugging with you guys. So if I check the Android manifest file, the second activity should be defined there, like you see here, the message activity. And in the layout, we have defined message activity, and in the message activity I'll do one thing. I'll change this to activity just to make it consistent, and we'll remove all this we don't need. Okay, sorry, we do need one thing, which is, okay, set content view, because that will call our layout, this activity message. So we are not, are we using activity message? Let's check. Let's change it to content message. Okay, the layout file which I just modified. Okay, let's try to run the app again. We have made some minor changes just to make it consistent with the other activity as well as. Okay, so this is the. Okay, so now it will open the activity for me. And what I'll do is I'll again click on this and it displays me message activity, which is the second activity. So this is the way activities call other activities. So for example, say you have an activity which displays a YouTube image, and on click of YouTube image you want YouTube to play that video. So there you can use intent to call the YouTube app. So I'll show you how you can do it in later videos. But yeah, this should give you an idea of how intents work and how you can use it. So see you next time then.